All right, next. Now your next question is, you are given a charge q. The question is like this: how will you divide this charge capital Q into two parts such that there is maximum force on any one of the charges? Now how you are going to solve this answer is, if your charge is small q, another charge is capital Q minus small q. So now your force F is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into small q into capital Q minus small q by distance is d square. If you are placing in between these two at some distance d. Now if you have looked into my applications of integration video, calculation of maxima and minima, now whenever a function is having a maximum or minimum value, its first derivative is 0. So according to that, your df by dq is equal to 0. Okay, when maximum or minimum force occurs, its derivative with respect to a variable is 0. Okay, please do refer to my applications of integration in physics video and differentiation in physics video. In that you will get to know this. So now whatever is constant, we will keep it aside. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught d squares are constants. So according to that, your d by dq of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught d square times small q into capital Q minus small q, this part is equal to 0. Now if you remove this term and send it to other side, constants can be taken out of the integral, send it to other side. So you are going to get d by dq of small q into capital Q minus q square is equal to 0. So solving this, you will get capital Q is constant. So capital Q times dq by dq minus d by dq of q square is equal to 0. So that will give you q times derivative of q is 1 minus derivative of q square is 2q is equal to 0. Q is equal to 2q, q equal to capital Q by 2. So that means to have maximum force, you are supposed to divide this charge capital Q into two parts like this, capital Q by 2 1, capital Q by 2 like this. Then you will have maximum force in between these two charges. Okay, right? So I do not know initially what is the maximum force, so I assumed it to be small q and capital Q minus small q, and then I have done the simplification. Okay, right? Next. Next idea is your principle of superposition of forces. So what is this principle of superposition? I will tell you. Now before that, you need to know something in vectors. Now how will you add two vectors means, okay, your principle of superposition, I am going to do it, but before that, okay, in addition of vectors, if you have watched my vectors video, in addition of vectors there are two types of addition. Okay, first type of addition that you have is, okay, parallelogram law. Okay, you have parallelogram law. This is one type of addition. It is applicable only for two vectors. And if you are taking, okay, more than two vectors, the best approach to add more than two vectors is writing each vector in terms of I cap and j cap. Okay, so resolution of vectors video, you have to look at it if you do not know something here. Now if you are strong enough in these two, okay, in addition of vectors, if you are strong enough, I mean in your parallelogram law and using this idea of resolution, but in my video I have explained writing in terms of I cap and j cap. If you manage to write each vector in terms of I cap, j cap like this, then parallelogram law is valid only for two vectors. For two vectors addition, your magnitude of resultant is under root a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and your angle with a bar tan alpha is equal to mod b sin theta by mod a plus mod b cos theta. This is correct when you have only two vectors. Now if you have more than two vectors, you have to write first vector in terms of I cap and j cap like this, and second vector in terms of I cap and j cap. If you don't know this, please do refer to my vectors video. So this will become some x component I cap plus y component j cap. Vector d bar is equal to some dx I cap like this, and then add all the corresponding x components, add all the corresponding y components. And if vector is in some negative, I mean if it is in second quadrant, negative x positive y, third quadrant negative x and negative y. Okay, so if you have more than two vectors, best approach is writing like this. Now if you know this, then there is no difficulty at all in writing the values. Now in principle of superposition, what is that we are going to do is, I told you many times, always you have to consider force on a particular body or charge. So when there are multiple forces acting on a charge, let us say this is a positive charge plus q1 minus q2 plus q3 some plus q4 like this. Let us say there is some point here, from here to here the distance is r1, from here to here the distance is r2, from here to here the distance is r3, from here to here there is r4, and let us say you have a test charge q like this and your axis is like this. Now in this case, if you ask me what is resultant force on small q, your resultant force on charge small q is force on first charge plus force on second charge plus force on third charge plus force on fourth charge plus so on like this. So because of each charge that you have, you are supposed to add it in terms of vectors like this. So now because the first charge is positive, it will repel like this. F1 bar will be like this, kq1 q by r1 square. Because of second charge it is negative charge, so there will be attraction. So F2 is k into q2 into q by r2 square like this. And coming to third charge, your F3 is k into q3 into q by r3 square. Coming to q4, it is k into q into q4 by r4 square like this. So then once you get it, write each vector in terms of I cap and j cap. Write second vector in terms of I cap and j cap, and then add accordingly. Okay, so this statement is your principle of superposition, this box. Okay, now based on this we will try to do simple questions. So I want you to understand, okay, what is happening here. Just copy it down. Okay, that box thing is the important part here. Now we will use these ideas and then we will try to apply this principle of superposition. So my first question is, let us say you have minus capital Q placed at a distance of not 6D, it is 8D. this is 60 plus q here, one more charge plus q is here, and let us say a minus q charge is here. This is 8, this is 6. Question is, there is a charge small q here. What is my question is, find force on small q. If k times capital Q into small q by d square is equal to F naught, find net force on small q. That is your question. Okay, so come on, try it. So question figure separately, you draw it and then try the answer. Pause the video clip at this point itself, try it and then do it. Okay, so I will directly do the solution. Now I will try to draw the diagram separately once again. Now if this is 8 and 6, this distance is going to be 10d. Okay, because this is a right angle triangle. In the question he did not give you, he will not give you obviously. So this distance is 10d. So this is a right angle triangle. So 8 square plus 6 square is equal to 10 square. Okay, so 64 plus 36, that will give you 100. So it will approximately give you 10d. Now if this angle, if you are considering it here, now you must know your sin 37 is equal to cos 53, that is equal to 3 by 5. Cos 37 is equal to sin 53, that is equal to 4 by 5. Okay, so these are your values. Okay, these are your values which we commonly get. Basically these are sides of right angle triangle. If this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Now this angle will be 53 degrees, this angle will be 37 degrees. Okay, so sin 37 is 3 by 5, cos 53 is also 3 by 5, cos 37 is 4 by 5, sin 53 is 4 by 5. Okay, so we'll keep you getting these values and these figures in projectile motion in lot of other places regularly. Okay, so you must remember this result. Now what I'll do is, I'll choose an axis here like this. So now if I redraw the diagram, if I choose this as my axis, if I number these as different charges, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now because of first charge there is attraction, this attraction is towards left. So your first force F1 bar is K into small q into capital Q by 8d whole square. Q by d square is F naught, so it is indirectly F naught by 64. Okay, now there is an important thing that I want you to remember, where often people get confused. Here there is a negative sign. Okay, many people will even keep this negative sign here. Okay, but do not do it. Why? Because your negative sign is taken care in the direction for vectors. For vectors your negative sign is taken care in the direction. So here the direction is towards left. Because it is negative charge only, your vector force F1 is towards left. Okay, getting my point? Remember, in electrostatics I am telling you again and again, your negative charge, okay, for vectors is taken care in the direction. Do not keep negative sign. Here I did not keep minus sign, I have just simply written it. Okay, so k into small q into capital Q by d square, that is 64. This is your F1 bar. Next, your F2 is positive charge, so because of which there is repulsion like this. So your F2 will be like this. So here it will be your F2 is equal to K times capital Q into small q by, you have to consider this distance from here to here, the distance is 10d. So it is 10d whole square. So that is your F0 by 10 square is 100. Okay. Now the angle is important. Now here if you look at this triangle, sine this angle is, this is 90. Okay. If you want this angle, sine theta is opposite side by hypotenuse. So 6 by 10, that is 3 by 5. So this will become 37 degrees. So if this angle is 37, this will also be 37 degrees. So your F2 is making an angle of 37 degrees here. Okay. Next, coming to third force, there is repulsion. Okay, because of F3. Okay, this F3 will repel it like this. Okay, so your force will be acting along the line joining the two charges, and you have to write each vector in terms of I cap and j cap. Now here F is K into capital Q into small q by, from here to here this distance is given as 60. So it is 60 whole square, that is equal to F0 by 36. Okay. Now to get the resultant force, we need to write each vector in terms of I cap and j cap. So your first force F1 bar is towards negative x-axis. So it is minus F0 by 64 I cap plus 0 j cap. Okay. For the vector along x-axis, you refer to my vectors video. It will be minus F0 by 64 I cap plus 0 j cap. Your second vector F2 bar is F0 by 100 into cos 37 I cap plus F0 by 100 into sin 37 j cap. And coming to your third vector F3 bar is 0 I cap plus F0 by 36 j cap. Now once you get all the vectors, add them. So your resultant force is, okay, this is cos 37 value is 4 by 5. So minus F0 by 64 plus F0 by 100 times 4 by 5 I cap, this much I cap plus, between these two parts, okay, F0 by 100 times sin 37 is 3 by 5 plus F0 by 36 j cap. Okay, right. So this is your x component, this is your y component. So you want magnitude under root x component square plus y component square. Okay, like this you can keep solving different questions. So this is your principle of superposition. In this, if you have sum of n terms, arithmetic progression, geometric progression and all, you will get it. So for those relations, I will write the formulas. Okay, the extra part to test the math skills he can give you like this. If you have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on, after taking kq by d square, kq1 q2 by d square, if you get terms like this, your sum of n terms is given by n into n plus 1 by 2. You have to remember this result. Next, 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus so on up to n square. If you get it, it is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. And if you have 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on up to n cube like this, you will get it as n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Next, if terms are in arithmetic progression, difference is constant here. So your terms will be in the form of a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d plus so on up to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is your last term. Now sum of n terms in this is n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 into d. How many terms are there? Accordingly you substitute, or it can also be written as n by 2 times a plus l. Okay, so progressions also you are supposed to know, so that we will use them. And if you have terms coming in GP while simplification, in geometric progression, what is that you are supposed to do is, for geometric progression, okay, for geometric progression, okay, your terms are ar square so on up to ar power n minus 1. Here your sum of n terms is a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1. Sum of infinite terms is a by 1 minus r. Like this you have to keep using these terms. Okay. So if you get these kind of questions based on AP, GP, sum of squares and all, after taking k, q1, q2 by d square, take whatever is common with the directions and all, and you simplify accordingly. Okay. So based on simple mathematical logic, she can give you like this. Okay. Now I'll discuss something very important, which is related to equilibrium of charges. So regarding equilibrium, you must know certain things. So what are those basic things? I'll let you know. So now we will continue. So based on simple addition of vectors, I think you will be able to do those questions. Just simply write whatever vectors are there in terms of I cap and j cap and add them. Okay. So for force and field, vector addition. For potentials and energies, no vector addition, directly scalars. Now next what I am going to discuss is, okay, the most important part, that is your equilibrium of charges. Okay. Now what is this? I will tell you. Now in equilibrium of charges that I am talking of, okay, now mainly you will have two areas. One is equilibrium of placed charge. So that means whatever charge that you are placing, okay, for example, if you have a charge q1 here, another charge q2 here, okay, this distance is r. Now if I bring one more charge, I have a position here, I can place it in between position 2, I can place it here position 3 like this. So 3 positions are possible. Now in all the 3 positions, if I am talking of equilibrium of placed charge, your net force is 0 on, okay, net force is 0 on placed charge alone. Okay, net force is 0 on placed charge alone. Whatever charge you are placing, only on that charge net force is 0. Okay. Next, second type of questions that you have will be your equilibrium of system. Okay, equilibrium of system in the sense, okay, if you are bringing some small q here, okay, here net force is 0 on small q. If you are talking of equilibrium of system, okay, then what happens is net force is 0 on any charge in the system. Net force is 0 on any charge in the system. That means your net force on placed charge is 0, net force on q1 is 0, net force on q2 is also 0. Okay, you take any charge in the system when you are referring to equilibrium of system, any charge in the system, the net force is 0. Whereas if you are talking of equilibrium of placed charge, okay, your equilibrium of placed charge means whatever charge that you are placing, only on that charge net force is 0. Okay, so these are the two types of questions that you have on equilibrium of system of charges. Now what is it you can do is, okay, you can calculate this part first, okay, that will give you actually the position. Okay, so you will see later, but doing this indirectly gives position. Okay, indirectly gives position where to place. Okay, and doing any of the charges, okay, on Q1 and Q2, if you are making net force 0, it gives magnitude of charge to be placed. Okay, magnitude of charge to be placed. How it comes, I will tell you in a while next. Okay, but remember, in equilibrium of charges you will have two kinds of questions. One is whatever charge that you are placing, on that charge net force is 0. Second type is, okay, you will have charge getting placed, but that placed charge is supposed to be in equilibrium, as well as any charge in the system that you are taking, that is also supposed to be in equilibrium like this. So these are the kinds of questions that you are that you will be getting in equilibrium of charges. Now for that, what is that I am going to do is, I am going to take a system, and then on that system I will try to give different questions. Through questions I will try to explain the equilibrium idea. Okay, so now let me start. So your first part is your equilibrium of placed charge. So that means whatever charge I am placing, that charge is supposed to be in equilibrium. So my first question is, you have a charge Q1 here, one more charge Q2 like this. From here to here the distance is R. What is that I am going to do is, I am going to bring another charge and place it. I don't want to give where I am placing it. Okay, the question is, where should I place and what charge is to be placed, so that placed charge is in equilibrium. Okay, placed charge is in equilibrium. So here we are referring to translational equilibrium. In translational equilibrium of bodies, net force is 0. So that means the charge that I am placing here, that placed charge net force is supposed to be 0. So now if I am placing some charge here, okay, first for positive charge, let us say I am placing, okay, I look at the position first. Now here if I consider Q1 like this, and this side if I have Q2, now if I am bringing plus Q charge here, now this is one position, this is position number 2, this is position number 3. Let us say you are placing charge Q here in different positions like this. Now let us say it is not R, it is D. Then this will become D minus X. From here to here the distance is D. Now if you observe carefully, on Q if you take, okay, here you have only two charges, 1 and 2. 3 positions are possible for positive charge. You can place it to the left end, to the right end, in the middle. So at the left end if you take, because of Q1 your force F1 is towards left, repulsion. Because of F2 also there is repulsion. Okay, so because of Q1 there will be repulsion, because of Q2 also repulsion. So here in this case, on this position 1, if you are placing this charge small q in position 1, two forces q1 and q2, okay, here I should not have kept this, okay. If I am placing at position 1 this plus q, if I am placing it plus 1, this charge is repelling, f1 is repelling. Similarly f2 also will repel this plus q charge, okay. These two charges are repelling, so two forces acting in same direction cannot bring net zero force. Getting my point? So if you have a force f1 like this, another force f2 like this, they should be equal and opposite. If it is 100, this is also be supposed to be 100. Only then only on this body your net force will be 0. You must have equal forces acting in opposite direction. So here my point is, on these two bodies your net force is 0. So this charge repulsion, this charge repulsion, so your net force is 0, okay. So I mean sorry, not 0 if it is the case if you are placing it position 1. Similarly in position 3, if you are placing, because of q2 and q1 there is repulsion, so net force is not 0, not possible here also. So you must obviously keep it somewhere here in the middle. Then because of this q1 charge, k into q1 into q by x square is towards right. Because of q2 charge, k into q2 into q by d minus x whole square is towards right. So if net force is 0 on this, your k into q1 into q by x square will be equal to k into q2 into q by d minus x whole square. So that will give you k q. So d minus x by x whole square is equal to q2 by q1, okay. That will give you d minus x by x is equal to under root q2 by q1. So d minus x times root q1 is equal to root q2 times x. D times root q1 is equal to root q1 plus root q2 into x. So finally your x is d root of q1 by root q1 plus root q2, which will give you d times 1 plus under root q2 by q1, okay. So this is your formula for what, okay, where you are placing the charge from q1, okay. From q2 if you want, give answer as d minus x, okay. From q2 it is d minus x, from q1 it is x. This is how you are supposed to place it. Now for negative charge, same thing, both will attract if you place in position 1, and in position 3 also both will attract. So 1 and 3 are not allowed. For negative charge you have to place in the middle. Only thing is here this charge has repelled, but if you place negative charge there will be attraction. Answer will not change even if it is negative, okay. So what is the point in repeating the same thing again and again? Okay, so now I'll erase this, okay. So this is also in fact called the null point. Whether you place positive charge or negative charge, on this positive or negative charge your net force is 0. So that is why you can call this point as null point. So on the null point your force is 0, or at null point your force is 0, okay. Now I will continue. Now this is your equilibrium of placed charge, okay. Next, now we will see equilibrium of system. Equilibrium of system is what we are going to see now. Now if you are considering equilibrium of system, you have to be very careful while considering the equilibrium of system. Your next application is related to equilibrium of system, okay. So your equilibrium of system, if you are talking of equilibrium of system, your net force is 0 on any charge within the system. Now let us say you have two charges, one is 9q and other is 25q. Let us say between these two the distance is d. Question is, find which charge and its magnitude and where it is to be placed so that system is in equilibrium. Okay, find q's nature and position. Find q's nature and position so that system is in equilibrium. Okay, your system is supposed to be in equilibrium. Okay, now I want you to try it, then I will discuss the solution, whether you have to place positive charge or negative charge, and then what is its position and magnitude. Try the answer for a minute at least. All right, now observe very carefully. If you have positive charge, say if q is positive, before doing anything, always look at the logical aspect of it. Don't just try to simply mug up any relation or any formulas. So look into the logical part, try to look at the position signs and then try to give the answer. So here the idea is, for net force to become 0, you need to have two equal and opposite forces on that particular charge. Now in this case, if you take 9q and 25q here, if q is positive, if I place it here, these two charges will repel because both are positive. So left of this not possible. Right, if you take, okay, position 3, position 1, position 3 not acceptable because 25q repulsion, 9q also will repel this q. Now what is left is, the only position that is left is here, I will place it here, q. Now on this your net force is going to become 0. Now I told you, whenever you are talking of equilibrium of system, it's I want you to keep in mind that your net force is 0 on placed charge as well as charges that are to the left and to the right. So here on 9q, net force is also supposed to be 0. If you are placing q in the middle, there is possibility. Force because of 9q will be towards right, force because of 25q will be towards left. On this, net force is 0. Okay, this is acceptable. Okay, but the problem is, if you are keeping q in the middle, okay, a positive charge q in the middle, then observe very carefully. If you are placing it at some distance x, now if you take force on 9q in this case, on 9q there is repulsion, k into 9q into q by x square, like this. On 9q there is one more force, that is k into 25q into 9q by d square. Okay, so two forces are acting towards left. So when two forces acting in same direction, there is no possibility of force becoming 0. So here I will write, we cannot place positive charge in any position. We cannot place positive charge in any position as force on any one of the charges, okay, your force on any one of the charges is not becoming 0. Hello? ఇక్కడే ఉన్నాడు, క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాడు, వస్తాడు, ఈవినింగ్కి వస్తాడు. ఏదైనా అర్జెంటా? లేదు అవ్వలేదు, అయిన తర్వాత ఫోన్ చేస్తాడు నాకు. సో హియర్ we cannot place positive charge in any position as force on one of the charges is not becoming 0. That is my final point. If you are placing to the left, it is not becoming 0. If you are placing towards right, it is not becoming 0. If you are placing in the middle, what is the problem is, on this force is becoming 0, but on 9q it is not becoming 0. So this is my point. So you cannot place positive charge. Now next thing that we are supposed to consider is considering the negative charge. Those who want to copy, you can copy. So write down this statement, explain it in your own terms. So you cannot place positive charge. Now let us consider negative charge. This is position 1, position 3. Now if you place position 1, on position 1 9q will be attracting, 25q will be attracting. So net force is not 0 because once again you have forces in same direction. On minus q, once again because of 9q and 25q, once again both the charges will attract. So only possible position is in the middle. Now if you place minus q in the middle, now because of this minus q on 9q, if you look on this, anyhow it is attraction because of 25q, attraction because of 9q, so force is 0. And if you look at 9q, on 9q minus q will attract and 25q will repel. So on 9q also there is possibility of force becoming 0. Okay, so from this part I can conclude that you have to place a negative charge, and that too in the middle. So now I'll write, okay, your situation is like this. Your force on minus q charge, if you take from here to here, if the distance is x, from here to here if the distance is d minus x. Now your force on minus q is k into 9q into negative charge, there is attraction, do not keep minus sign, by x square. This is your force on minus q. On minus q there are two forces. One is force because of 9q and this is force because of 25q. Okay, so 25q also will attract, so this is k into 25q into q by d minus x whole square. So k will go off, q will go off, capital Q will go off. So you are going to get d minus x by x whole square is equal to 25 by 9, that is equal to 5 by 3 is your d minus x by x. So if you solve, 3d minus 3x is equal to 5x, 3d by 8 is your x value. So that means you are supposed to place minus q charge at a distance of 3d by 8 from 9q. And if you are considering force on 9q, now because we did not get the magnitude, this gave us position. From this calculation we have got where you are supposed to place the charge. Now you want magnitude of charge. So on 9q here, Okay, you are placing minus q charge in the middle, no, not in the middle, at a distance of 3d by 8. From here to here the distance is d. Now if you are considering 9q, because of minus q charge there is attraction, because of 25q charge there is repulsion. So that will give you force because of minus q charge is k into, force because of minus q charge is k into 9q into q by, you don't need to keep the sign, by x square, that is 3d by 8 whole square. Because of 25q it is that much, so indirectly your k into 9q into q whole divided by x square is towards left, that must be equal to k into 25q into 9q by, between 25q and 9q the distance is d square. So this x is given as 3d by 8 whole square. So your x is 3d by 8. So now 9q will go off, k will go off. You are going to get small q is equal to 25q by d square times 3 square is 9, 9 by 64 into d square. D square will cancel off. You are going to get q equal to 225q by 64. Okay, so you have to place minus 225 by 64q at a distance of 3d by 8, so that you take, or you will get net force is 0 on any of the charge that you take in the system. Okay, so that is what you are supposed to understand from this.